Hi, we're Julia and Piper, and we're going to be flipping these mid-century end tables. They have this great brass hardware in the front, and we had some really cool ideas to start. To begin, we're going to start with a 120 grit sandpaper on our orbital sander. 120 grit's really a safe grit to start with because if you go a little bit higher, you're probably not going to pull as much off, but if you go lower into the 80s, you could be ripping through to the veneer. Another way we try to avoid going through veneer is just letting the sander do its work without pushing really hard on it, especially when you're going around those really sensitive edges. We went back over these fine details and also switched over to a 320 grit to make it a little bit softer and smoother. You'll see a little bit later on that we are going to do another layer of sanding, and you'll see why. This is what they look like for now. It's okay, they're a little blotchy. We're going to be doing a little bit more sanding, so it's fine for now. This brass hardware was so delicate and beautiful, but we did need to take out these 5 pins that were on each side. It took a lot of effort, as you'll see. We got to work. It was kind of a hammer and chisel situation, but we needed to be really careful. We didn't want to damage the wood, although you wouldn't be able to see underneath because these will be going back on. So you can see we just worked in small sections, kind of getting every corner to go up until we were able to pull it free. And with a little bit of teamwork, we were both able to get them done after about 5 to 10 minutes. Beginner pro tip, you just want to make sure you always keep your hardware in one place, whether that's a baggie or a box, and you know exactly where to find it. So now we're going to be moving on to our design plan. So you'll notice about 90% of flipping furniture is the prep work, and then the painting is only 10%. These are the Amy Howard products we're going to be using. We've got the Miracle Paint Gel Stain and some fun gold flakes. Before, we still need to clean it with our clean slate.
All right, we are about to get started on our project. We are doing these end tables, and we're so excited. We're using Clean Slate by Amy Howard. It's a very powerful cleaner. We love using it. This is going to get rid of waxes, dirt, grime, oils, marker. We love this stuff. So what you want to do is you saturate it pretty well with a microfiber towel, and then we do use gloves when we work with this stuff. It's pretty potent. We always crack the garage door as well. So let's get started.
And use a ventilator if you have one. So you can see she soaked the rag pretty well. She's going to rub it on pretty thick and then wipe it off. You want to make sure that you do this on every crevice, every corner of the entire piece you're going to be painting.
All right, we got rid of a lot of gunk here.
We are getting ready to paint our pieces. We are using Brooks Gray by Amy Howard. It's their miracle paint. This stuff is incredible. You don't have to prime it, you don't have to seal it. The only preparation we did was cleaning our pieces. So super easy, it adheres awesome, it goes on really, really smooth, and we are so excited about this color. It's beautiful, it's deep, it's rich, and we cannot wait.
Here's a close-up look of the color. It's got some deep blues, very dark, almost a little green to it. It's called Brooks Gray, but it's definitely not a gray. You can see this paint rolls on very smooth. This took about 3 layers total, no more than that. This paint it's a very durable, thick paint. You can see that we roll up pretty high and we're not too careful at the top, and you're gonna see why in a minute. Luckily, we had a pretty thick veneer on top, so we were not worried about burning through.
So we're making some really good progress on our nightstands here. We finished painting in the Brooks Gray. We love the color, it's beautiful. But as you can see, we got a little bit of paint from the roller on our already sanded tops. So instead of worrying about painting, we just kind of roll it on. And we know usually that we'll get some on top, but it's super easy to fix. All we need to do is take a high grit sandpaper, and we're just to do a quick once over with the sander, and it'll all be done and ready for staining.
So you can see here after Julia sanded that there are no more paint marks on top, and we're ready for some stain. So this is our Amy Howard at home gel stain. We ordered the one called English Walnut. They have a lot of other colors, but it's a water-based gel stain. It's very thick when it goes on, but it penetrates really well. So we'll show you how we're gonna put that on. You're gonna need a dry rag, a clean lint-free one. So it should look like this thick consistency. Here's the before. Again, it's not perfect, but this is such a deep stain, and we plan to do a few layers of it. It should cover all the imperfections. You can see we just dab it with that clean lint-free rag and just work it into the piece, just really buff it in. We made sure to dry between layers. This is the second one.
This is the third coat of the English Walnut. This is the color we were looking for, so we were really happy with it. Again, this stain, it goes on super thick, it penetrates so well. This is exactly what the color we were looking for. It's warm, it's dark, so yeah, we're really happy with this.
Okay. So next up, we're going to do some gold leaf on the insides of these doors.
Yes, and to be able to do that, you have to use gilding size. It's like the glue, the adhesive that keeps the gold on. If you look inside, it's kind of this white milky substance. Yeah, it's very sticky. It's easy to take the lid off the first time, but just know that after you do it, it's going to be harder.
It's a little sticky.
Yes.
Gunky. And then you use a brush to apply it. You dip it in and you apply it in little sections, and then you wait a couple minutes for it to dry before you add the gold leaf.
Exactly. Yeah. So Amy Howard has this detailed one. It's very nice to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an up-close look at the gilding size and the 4-ounce. And these gorgeous gold leaf sheets. There's 25 in this set.
Okay. There we go.
It's hard to see because it's on white, but you can see that it's fairly thin coats. Still want to be able to see it.
All right, so this is how it comes. It comes in this tissue paper because it's very delicate.
Whoa, it just
Look
blows
at
in the
that.
wind.
Woo! I'm really not doing that.
We've applied the adhesion right here, the gilding size. You're gonna rip it into smaller sections. And then you just brush it on. Yeah, dab it on.
Yeah.
Dab, dab, dab.
Oh, that looks cool.
Oh, that looks so nice.
Shoot.
Yeah.
See everywhere.
You will get gold in places, so make sure to do this in a designated area.
Woo!
Okay, we're having too much fun with this stuff. You kind of have to trust the process with the gold leaf. It does take layers and time and patience for sure, but it was so worth the reward. This is our final door, and then this will be entirely finished. We are so thrilled with how this turned out. We love the Brooks Gray, how it goes with the English Walnut, and the original brass hardware just looks so incredibly wonderful and rich with the gold leaf that we did inside the doors, which you'll see here in a second. The gold leaf is just an added detail. Is it necessary? No, but it's so much fun. We think the future owners, whoever gets these, is just going to be thrilled with little extra details that we like to always include with our pieces. We really appreciate you watching, and we hope you'll follow along for future flips.